So I'm here right now in Barshaw Park in Paisley, and this lovely couple, I'll assume you're a couple,
Hi.
have agreed to have a conversation with me here. Sorry guys, what's your name?
My name's Lisa.
Lisa.
AJ.
AJ, lovely to meet you. I'm Dale, by the way. And the YouTube channel's called Beyond the Imaginary Curve.
Right.
So hopefully that's not going to give away too much about what I'm going to do now. I'm just going to show you these singing, and I just want you to scan from left to right. If you can see that alright, can you...
Aye.
Right, so if you go back to the first one there, could you tell me if you think that that's a painting, a photo, or a photo of a painting?
I think it's a photo.
I would say it's a photo.
A photo?
It might be a painting.
Oh,
No, I
make your
think
mind up.
it's a photo.
Right. Well, I can actually tell you that is actually a painting.
Is it?
Yep. So if you just scan to the next one. What's this one? We'll go here.
The wee
Yeah,
balls.
The wee balls, aye.
That's clever if that's a painting. I say a photo.
Say a photo.
Photo, aye.
I'll go picture of a painting.
Picture of a painting. Well, it is actually a painting again.
Oh, no way.
Yeah, we go to the next one.
As well.
It's a woman.
Aye.
I'll go
I'll go photo. One of them's got to be a photo.
You go photo.
that one.
No, that's a painting as well.
Alright.
Right, so you get the gist. So if you just give me a wee second, I just want to scan to something else. So you see that there's like contrasting opinions on whether things are photos or paintings. Can I get you a look at that one and tell me what you think of that? And this is a picture of the globe Earth for people watching.
Painting.
No, I'll go photo.
Oh, right. So, well, this is the thing. The majority, all these pictures that we get are composite images.
Right.
So the main point I wanted to make just with showing you that was that, you know, for me when we go to science, and I take it you understand what science is.
Aye.
If I say natural science is a study of the observable world, how things behave, how we measure and test and repeat and blah blah blah. So if I was to say to you then, because of today's technology, like images and stuff, and it's very inconclusive, we would have to remove that altogether from the discussion. That's for me personally. Some people just want to believe in pictures. That's up to them. For me, it's not enough. So the point of this being then is that my channel, and there's a growing number of people in all walks of life, through academia to the common man, who are now putting into question the validity of this claim that we actually live on a spinning ball. Have you ever heard anything like this before?
No.
No.
No?
Yep.
Can I ask you, do you believe that you do live on a spinning ball Earth?
I would just.
I would say aye, aye.
See, can I ask you, not to put you too much in the spot, but can I ask you your reasons for why you believe that?
Probably things I've seen and what I've been told.
So what things have you seen?
Well, things on basically
Images?
channels and stuff like that. Aye,
So
you've seen pictures
what,
of the world.
What I've just pointed out to you
Aye, basically.
on a screen, a two-dimensional
Yeah.
picture on a screen. What about any kind of proof? Have you ever seen any curvature?
Well, see, when you're at the sea, when you're not out at the seaside, you can
Yep.
see that it's
The horizon?
The horizon, but if you're at a certain level, you can see it slightly curves off.
What height would you say you'd
Oh, I
need to
don't
be at
know,
that?
'cause I'm not very tall, so it wouldn't be hard.
So have you ever actually seen the curve with your own eyes? If I say to you,
I've
what
got-
shape, what shape is the horizon? What would you say it is?
Straight.
Straight.
Slightly.
You think
Curved
it's
off.
slightly curved? Is that maybe because you think it's supposed to be curved, rather than what's
Probably,
actually
maybe.
there? Not to put words in your mouth, but I'm just kind of playing devil's advocate.
Aye. Maybe. Maybe I'm looking for it.
No, maybe.
So if I go back to what I was saying earlier, I was saying about, you know, natural science, physics, you know, things that'll be repeatable. Can I just see that iPad for a wee second, and I'm just going to show you this other image. Just bear with me. Where are we here? Sorry, a sunlight's effect, I can't really see what's going on here. Right, this one. If I was to show you this, and you can tell me if you agree with that or no.
I would have said that's what I would have said.
So we're looking at how a body of water behaves. So what we're showing you here is the earth underneath, the shape underneath, and whether you would see it displayed on the surface of the water.
No.
No.
That
No.
one then.
So what's reality? What do you experience every day?
I see it like
Do you?
that. Aye.
Level and flat.
Flat, level and
Yeah.
flat.
Would you not say that's your everyday experience? Do you think
Yeah.
it's different?
Uh-huh.
Yep. So we know that liquid, fluid mechanics, water is formless. It will take the shape of any container. The surface will always be horizontal and flat.
Yep.
You can never display, the shape of anything on the underside
Aye.
on the surface of the water. Would
But
you
a
agree with
bottle of
that?
water with the bit underneath that goes up.
Yeah.
Aye.
So your water's still level.
Your
to the top.
water's still level at the top.
aye.
And we know that as a fundamental fact of reality experienced every day by everybody, whether it be a cup of coffee, your sink, your bath, a swimming pool, a lake. Do you think the oceans would then be any different?
No.
No, when I think about it, no.
No. See, for me, that one fundamental fact of reality disproves this claim that we do live on a spinning ball. What do you think about
You maybe think now. Put that thought in my head. Aye.
That's
So
so
you have.
make me question my
Aye.
life now.
that? So if I get back to you again, and if you take into consideration, you said it, you said that the reason you believe it was a ball is because of things you've seen, but predominantly I would suggest it was because of what you've been told. And would you say so?
Aye.
So can you think of any other reason or any kind of proof that you would think that would suggest that you lived on a ball?
Well, the pictures of scientists have took of the earth, know what I mean? So you see it as a sphere, know what I mean?
But would it not concern you then that these aren't the actual photographs or composite images?
Aye, but
Do you think after all this time of space travel we would have 24-hour footage, 360-degree footage of left, right,
aye,
and
should
centre?
have, aye.
Do you believe they went to the moon?
No.
No. So what if I suggested that for me the reason they said they went to the moon was so that they could kid people on
Power.
that the Earth was actually a globe? And what they actually done was they took video footage through a round window on an aircraft and postulated to people that that was the Earth they were seeing from space. Would that make sense to you?
Uh-huh.
What if I says to you that, if the reason they're telling us a globe, this is just me and, me trying to fathom out life and what's actually going on. But for humans, if you want to control humans and you want to keep them in a limited space, in a confined space, a globe's perfect because there's no way off.
Aye.
Then everything's discovered. So people are going to get into a mindset of never questioning, and they're just going to be kind of settled in their life and take it for granted that everything's been discovered and found out.
Aye.
And then therefore restricting us psychologically and physically from ever getting up and going and exploring to see what else is there. Do you think that makes sense?
Aye.
Aye, it does, aye. You see it that way, aye.
Are you going to question
I
this
will be,
firmly?
aye.
Big question for
validity.
life.
Aye. Aye, so
I think the thing's doing them like that, what's
I
going
know.
on?
I see if you can think of anything, usually I wait for people to throw back the usual, the planets are round, the moon's round, the sun's round, they always come up with some reason for why they believe that the Earth is actually a ball. But when you actually get right down to it, when you question people, they're kind of blank, like
Aye, like that.
you are right now. But yeah, as I says to you, for me, being a scientist, natural science is observing the actual reality we're living in. So I take it you trust your own senses.
Yep.
Yeah, and you trust your own common sense.
Yeah.
So for me, I would look at you then and say, well, you're competent, you're a scientist. So you're able to assess the world you're living in, you have these faculties and you can use them to discern what's true and what's false. So as I says to you, you know the horizon's flat. I take it you've flown.
Yep.
Uh-huh.
Where was the horizon when you flew?
Below us.
Was it below you? Was it not straight out in front of you?
I suppose, aye, your horizon
Well, it
will always
would.
be in front of you.
Straight in front of you. Whereas if you're on a globe, you're always at the top of the ball. So as soon as
So
you
how
start
you
to
see it?
rise above that ball, the horizon should lower.
Lower.
All 360 degrees around you, but it never does. And it doesn't matter how high you go, it's always flat. With balloon footage, high altitude balloon footage of 121,000 feet, the horizon's there at the level with the camera and it's flat. So can you think it?
Tickled my brain.
Sorry about that.
To see the flight home.
But do you think it would be important to know where you actually are?
Well,
Uh-huh.
Do you know why you think it would be important to know where you are?
So I want to have that defined choice myself and know myself, basically, what's going on round about me.
So I always say that to people, if I'm philosophising or trying to rationalise my existence and why I'm here as a human and what life's about, if my foundation's a false premise, like I'm on a globe flying through the vacuum of space, then anything I'm trying to reason with or rationalise with or come up with any kind of philosophy about my existence, it's going to be flawed for the off.
That's it. Seems like everything's basically just a lie then, you know what I mean?
And for me, if you take that foundation away, that's why I see human beings in a state of confusion. And you know, all these religions all over the world and people divided on ideas because we don't have any solid grounding in where we actually are. And for me personally, I always felt as if we should have that. Like, why do humans not know why they're here, where they are? You know, it's like everybody's in confusion and at war with each other, and there's all this crazy behaviour going on. So for me, it's fundamental. It's really important for us to have that grounding and know exactly where we are. It also changes the fact that they're always trying to push like there's no creation, everything just randomly happened from a big bang. And again, you get back to that and you go, well, where's the practical examples? Can you recreate a big bang?
Exactly.
Can you show me these things, or have I just got to believe it like a religion?
Yep.
Like, there's no difference for me going to Christianity and just having total faith in that and believing what these supposed scientists are telling me. But for me, there has to be a separation, and as I say, it comes back to like the common man, me and you. If we strip down science for what it is, it's basically, you know, if I'm lying to you and I say I've got pink unicorns, you're going to say to me, what?
No, you're not.
Show me your fucking pink unicorns. And if I can't produce that for you, then you're not going to take it as anything real. So I always say that to people when I get back to the water aspect, and I always use it because for me it's the most accurate measuring tool we have for establishing level. And I'll say, could you give me one example of a body of water conforming to the exterior of a shape, where water has the ability to support itself and display like a shape upon its surface? Nobody can, because it's no actual observed reality. So for me, it's no scientific. So the majority of people are swayed by what they see in the TV. And for me, as I established with you, with you being confused about whether it's a photo or a painting, you know, we have to remove these from, you know, in scientific questioning.
Totally.
You know, because they're totally inconclusive.
We'll be questioning things now, do you know what I mean?
So that's fantastic, and that's exactly what I was looking for, you know, engage in a bit of discussion and hope that people have got the you know, they go away and they think about it and look into it further.
And I'll be telling other people too about it, do you know what I mean? So
spot on, my man, that's exactly, I mean, this is what activism is. There's so many of us now who know that what they're telling us is utter bollocks. There's a huge push to try and suppress it. You know, we're getting attacked left, right and centre. And if it's just a crazy thing and the world really is a globe, you know, people shouldn't be worried about people like me question. And the other part of that is that science should never be a closed book. It should always be open to question. You know, it should never be ridiculing or any of these things. You know? So,
brilliant.
Fantastic. And that's it. I mean, if I say to you, when I say to you flat earth, this is another part of my kind of social investigation. When you hear the term flat earth, what do you think about?
I think it basically just been, as you say, flat, but then again, where is the edge of that earth then?
Smashing, that's what I was looking for. You know, because this is another thing that it's been put into our culture, where it's, oh, people back then believed the world was a flat and how stupid they were, you know, you would have fell off the edge and blah blah. But I always return that and say, why are you invoking an edge? Why does there have to be an edge?
Could be an eternity.
Well, they want to say that space is infinite. Why could land not be infinite?
Exactly.
You know, not that I'm claiming that it is. You know, I can entertain all possible ideas. You know, I've even entertained the idea that we exist inside a sphere and we're on a level plane within it. And that would explain to me why the stars never change, why Polaris is always fixed, it's always in the same position. You know, because for me, I look at nature as mechanical, and then I look at the bigger picture and I would say, well, Earth is a mechanical machine, it's a construct. You know, it's funny that people have these ideas of these ridicule. Flat Earth, you would fall off the edge, the boats would fall off the edge.
I have probably when we've been camping and stuff, but like you see the star in the sky at night. Now if the Earth turns, then why the next night is it no a different sky?
Well, that's a great point, because what they say is that the heliocentric model actually says the sun's travelling at 500,000 miles an hour. We're going round the sun at 65,000 miles an hour, while the Earth's spinning on its axis at 1,000 miles an hour. Now, based on what you just said, and I'll go back to that, you know, being dizzy. If we're on this side of the sun in summertime, in 6 months' time we should now be on the other side of the sun when the night sky's on the opposite side. But yeah, it's never a different sky, we see.
Exactly.
Yeah? So, I mean, that makes sense. And just as you say, have you ever felt any motion of the Earth?
You don't.
Never. You know, that glass, that water that you've got sitting right there, I mean, it's sitting there perfectly still. Not a rumble, not a movement. Sitting there conforming to the container, and the surface, as you can see, is, I'm going to zoom in on that wee cup right there, because it's on a slant.
Slight, so the
water is always level. The water's always levelling off. Yeah. So for me, again, it goes back to, you know, what is a scientist and using our common senses, our faculties that we have in order to establish what the world is. And for me, it goes to claims. And if somebody's claiming to me that there's vast oceans curving round a ball with a big hump in the middle, you know, I've got serious problem with that, because when I go to observe reality, it tells me something totally different. And again,
you would think the water would drip. Do you know what I mean? If you would imagine a ball, like you hold a sphere, you pour water over it, it runs down and drips off. So why is the oceans not doing this?
Why do you have to invent more complicated?
Exactly.
The reason it gets complicated is because, for me, it's a lie, and they have to invent all this mathematical jargon to explain it. Gravity, a magical force that pulls everything, pulls all these oceans into the globe, but yet a wee butterfly and an ant or an insect can just float away.
Affected by it.
Helium balloons can rise, no problem. And for me, that's all because, you know, we come down to density and buoyancy. Helium's less dense than the air, so it rises, and if it's more dense, it's going to sink. And for me, that's as simplistic as it has to get, you know?
Yeah.
So, aye, excellent guys, I really appreciate the conversation. It's been an absolute pleasure. Thanks
you,
a lot.
mate.
Thank
My
you.
water's wine, by the way.
I've no stopped recording. It's
Leave that in.
Peasley, and it's what, 12 o'clock in the afternoon, and we've got a wine on the park.
It's like a half shift from my work.
Hope you're not going to get into trouble for this.
No, no, that's all.
Cheers guys.
No, thank